Hello, welcome to Rose and Carter Do the JOB. Myself, Johnny Rose, and my old mucker, Bully Boy Carter. We normally look at the greats of pro wrestling or people we enjoy, our favourites. Today, I've made the exception, and we're looking at Virgil, uh, someone that we think about a lot, I think, because he was involved in wrestling during the period that we watched a lot.
Yeah,
Mainly just as the sidekick of Ted DiBiase, right? Like, I mean,
yeah,
wrestling one. That was the best thing you could possibly do with him, I think, because he was just good
yeah.
at standing there, getting knocked off the apron a bit, and then getting bumped around by the fucking babyface at the end of the match, right?
Mm.
But I don't know a human in the planet that puts over his wrestling.
No, no, like I think he's known for kind of how he is now, and he's quite famous.
Yeah.
Like, but if you go back to like '91 when he went on his own, he was pretty over as a fucking,
He really
you know,
was. Yeah.
he was fairly over when he done that whole thing.
When he clocked to DiBiase with the $1 million belt, there
Yeah,
was fucking roof blew, didn't it?
fucking did, didn't it? It's such a massive reaction. So for that brief period, like 91, 92, he
But I
was.
think they quickly realised because he had a very brief sort of shine in that run as a babyface, but then he soon sort of declined, and he was, he was enhancement at best then, wasn't he?
Mhm.
Like towards the end of the. I mean, fucking hell, he was there 10 years at WWF.
What was he? Fucking hell.
No, 86 to 95, so 9 years. He
I
was
didn't
trained
even realize he was there that late. Like,
yeah, mad, isn't
no,
it? He was
crazy
trained
that.
by Michael Jones is his name. He's 58, June the 13th, 62. Trained by AFA, which was, pretty surprising because you would have thought he would have been better than he was trained by the fucking AFA. The CWA was where he started, sort of Memphis territory, Salman Jones, between 85 and 87. Whilst he was there, though, he did WWF sort of job matches as Lucius Brown. One was against Mr. Wonderful. And then in 87, he got the job. So he'd only been in wrestling 2 years when he got the Virgil shot. So I mean, fucking, that's pretty big to be fair. And then 91, January 91, he turned babyface. But by 92, so he had that year run as a middle card babyface sort of thing. But by 92, he was going down, 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 down. And then 95, he left there, potted around the Indies. WCW, he had 4 years in WCW. And
Yeah,
they played around with his fucking name like 400 times.
they didn't they?
It was Vincent, fucking Vinny, Shane with the powers that be, and fucking Russo, Curly Bill with the fucking West Texas Rednecks, which he said no fucking place being in. It's probably like, oh, we're doing fuck all out with Virgil, chuck him with them. Mr. Jones and Mike Jones. Mr. Jones with Ernest Miller. I don't remember that bit, but I wasn't really watching it a great deal at that point anyway. I mean, he's known now, isn't he, for selling his fucking autographs. And fair play to him, he's probably cashed in on that shit.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? He's Iron Sheik being fucking drugged up, and that's that. That's the Sheik's gimmick. And this is now, but he had a GoFundMe page for fuck's sake to make him a millionaire,
fuck it now.
whether it did or not. Yeah, it's sort of iconic, isn't it? That lonely Virgil thing.
It is, yeah.
He was Southern Tag Team Champion with Rocky Johnson, and he could watch Rocky Johnson every night and still not get any better. 74 in the PWI 500 in 1992. That's pretty high, isn't it? 483 in 2003. How he made that, I couldn't tell you. And according to Wikipedia, he is listed in being in the best gimmick and the best feud of 1996. But that's kind of through default because he was part of the NWO. I mean, if you count everybody in the NWO as part of the best gimmick, then fuck me, every cunt's going to get it, ain't they? Technically, they were wrong. Right, when was your first match you viewed?
My first one was from '89 in WWF.
Right. Was he a villain then? Yeah, it was, wasn't
Yeah, yeah.
he? Yeah. See, I don't know when mine was. I'm guessing like 88-ish.
Right. Okay.
But, shall I do mine first?
Yeah. Do yours first.
It was Saturday night's main event. I'm guessing it
Okay.
was 8, and it was called the Battle of Freedom because apparently Bobby Heenan sold Hercules' contract to Ted DiBiase. So it was like, if Hercules could beat Virgil, he'd get out of his contract kind of thing.
All right.
Virgil and Ted DiBiase jump Hercules at the start, both of them. Hercules ducks the line, fucking comes back and fucking knocks both of them. DiBiase goes out the ring. Virgil gets lined out. Hercules chases Ted round the ring. I was expecting the fucking clothesline outside the ring from Virgil, but that didn't happen. He went back in the ring and off it. Virgil walks in the ring into another fucking clothesline. Hits the ropes for an elbow, an elbow on the mat, a shitload of punches. Ted's up on the apron. Hercules chases him off again. I was expecting a cut off at that point. That didn't happen. Hercules stays in charge, like, even through all these times that Ted's trying to get involved. There's a big fuck off knee lift that must have squashed Virgil's nose. Another line, shitloads of banter between Ted and Hercules, like all the way through. Virgil pokes him in the eyes. He's done something, finally. His punches look weak as fuck. Forearms, like fucking, he's barely fucking paintbrushing him. He gets like 3 of them on. Then Hercules fucking lines the fuck out of him. Davy Boy style power slam. And that is it. Like, this is on Saturday night's main event as part of your like a feud thing that Hercules is trying to have with Ted. You can't judge that Virgil was shit in this because he literally did nothing. I was expecting it, but he did fuck all. Nothing. And it was like 8 minutes the whole match was. It wasn't like a short fucking 3-minute TV match. There was nothing in it. He did nothing. So you can't say he's cack because he did nothing other than them fucking weak ass punches. But how can you tell? Virgil gets fucking pressed then by Hercules onto fucking Ted. Hercules waves the chain around. Job's a good one. It's nice to see Hercules. Fucking it. I enjoyed him, but the rest of it, you can't say shit.
Wow. There we go. My first one is from Superstars, May 6th, 89, and it's against Jake Roberts.
Right.
So I have wrote at the end of this. Hang on. I actually put the end of this. This is one of the ones out of the 4 that I actually enjoyed. Like, I did like it. We'll start like, so basically, it go. I think it was meant to be DiBiase, but they were running an angle with, obviously it was during their feud, Jake Roberts and DiBiase. So they go to a backstage like segment with DiBiase like saying he's ill. So he's there like with a fucking like thingy around his neck and a fucking, just literally sounding like he's at death's door or something, saying that he can't compete, but he sent fucking Virgil out to do the job for him or something. But it was just like hilarious watching DiBiase there, literally like fucking practically on fucking, like I say, death's door. So yeah, they go into the match. And Jake actually jumps in, like it's a jump start, but Jake jumps Virgil, gives him a slam and a fucking knee lift, kablam. Whips Virgil to the corner, runs into Virgil's knee. Then Virgil's on him a little bit. Virgil chokes him with his, that fucking like waistcoat thing that Virgil used to wear. Chokes him with that a little bit. I think that's generally the only shit Virgil gets in is right at that bit there. Jake fights back, gives him the short arm clothesline, DDT, boom, and fucking that's it, over. It's probably about 4 or 5 minutes tops, but they were just working the angle with fucking DiBiase. That was the whole point of the match, I guess. just
Yeah.
like added to the whole fucking angle. And it was, I enjoyed it. It wasn't much to it. Virgil wasn't fucking, obviously at this point he wasn't a wrestler, was he? He was just a bodyguard. So he weren't going to go in there and have a fucking back and forth fucking match with Jake Roberts, was he? So
With that said, so far he's got battered by Hercules and Jake Roberts, right? Is Virgil, if you look at it from a shoot point of view, is he the worst bodyguard anyone could ever possibly have?
probably. To be fair though,
he's there to save Ted DiBiase from any dangerous situation. Yet he's got battered by at least 2 people so far.
But the thing is, as well, like when he was the bodyguard, how much bodyguarding did he actually do? He always got bad, didn't he? Like he fucking
It was Ted that was saving Virgil most of the time, weren't it?
Yeah, it was kind of
Money, weren't they?
It was like he wasn't more. It was just more like a fucking valet, really, than anything else, because he never
there to hold Ted's coat.
Yeah, he never protected anyone. So, but no, it was really good. It added to the angle. I quite enjoyed it. To be fair, it was really short, but like I say, it was all about the DiBiase story. So there we go on. But I couldn't judge it like you say on your last one. You couldn't judge it because he only had a fucking 20-second flurry, and then that was it, really. So there we go on. That was it. First match.
My second one. This is possibly my favourite out of the 4, and that's a stretch. But Rick Martel was picked here. And if you don't look good against Rick Martel, you are fucked, aren't you? Because Rick Martel is a fucking general. This was from WWF All American in sort of arse end of 91. It's joined in progress, but only just started. It's like ding ding, and then fucking, we've missed a couple of minutes. Virgil whips Rick Martel. Rick Martel does a cartwheel. Does his fucking jumping jacks. Virgil looks fucking almost like angry, like a villain, because he's banging the ropes and he's all fucking pissed off. So I don't think he understands the concept of heels and baby faces just yet. Then Rick Martel whips Virgil. Virgil comes back, does a cartwheel. Very nice, Then he's like Muhammad Ali shuffling and fucking doing his jumping jacks. So it's the game of one-upmanship with Ricky Martel. He's looking good so far, wrestling wise. Just finally needs to understand that he's a babyface. Martel takes the arm. They exchange it a few times. Virgil to the corner. Rick Martel runs in. Virgil moves into an arm drag, which looks all right. Leg drop on the arm. Alfred Hayes, bless him. He tries his best to put everyone over, doesn't he? And he says, Virgil really is the most improved of the 1990s. Rick Martel's hip toss attempt. Virgil turns it into a backslide. Virgil arm drags Ricky, stays on the arm. Virgil Virgil sends him in, puts his head down. Martel kicks him, and now the heat's on. Virgil, I've found, sells a bit too much, if you know what I mean. Like this kick that came from Martel, which would have been to like there, wouldn't it? Like your chest is where he kicks. And he's down like he'd been fucking shot in the pelvis. He's like face first and fucking, his head's going and his legs are wobbling. And I think it's a bit, because he's been on top for all that time as well. It was quite a good shine. But, I am nitpicking because it's fucking Virgil and that's what we're here for now. There's a gut wrench suplex from Martel. There's 2 of them bad boys. Then Martel to the middle rope, but he's met with a fucking fist in the belly. Virgil with the punches again. Russian leg sweep from Virgil. Big fucking hip hoik out the corner, which it's like he was in the fucking Virgil was in the corner punching fuck out of him. Very villain styly again. And it was almost like Rick Martel had to pull Virgil up and fucking tell him what to do because he was just punching. He'd still be there now, given the choice. Then Rick Martel gets the arrogant spray and fucking clocks Virgil as he gets DQ'd. But, this was the best out of the four. Virgil looked ropey, but it was the most entertaining match out of the four. But yeah, it was all right, that.
All right. Cool. Cool. All right. Wow. My next one is from '92, so he's a face now.
Mm.
And it's against Razor Ramon.
There you are.
Yeah. This was all right as well, to be fair. Like, out of my four, the first two were all right. Right, so this was actually a bit more even than fucking the last one. So I have put here at the start, Virgil seems over as fuck. This was like during his fucking, I think it was early '92.
Mm.
Well,
Yeah.
Razor Ramon would, I don't know.
Said on the old wiki that it was like a year he had a decent run, and he turned at Royal Rumble, didn't he? So that would have been a year period there or thereabouts.
Yeah, Razor's fucking pointing at Virgil, talking shit right at the start. Virgil pushes it away a couple of times. Razor shoves him. Virgil shoves him back. Then they go into a tie up. Fucking get to the corner. It's a clean break. Fucking tie up again. Then Razor starts working the arm. Virgil switches it, starts working Razor's arm. And then, like, as he's got Razor in a fucking armbar, like, Razor just fucking, like, pushes him to, like, break the armbar, and Virgil takes a bit of a bump. I don't know if it was meant to go on like that, but it looked all right because he was fucking in an armbar and he just pushed him over. You don't really see that. So whether or not it was planned like that, but it looked all right to me. They tie up again, cheap shot by Razor in the corner, stomping away on Virgil. Razor's now working the leg, like from this point on. Virgil's on the mat as Razor's working on the leg, and like Virgil like kicks Razor in the head like a few times, and Razor like goes through the ropes like he fucking sells it going through the ropes. Now it was a good spot, and it looked all right, but like it's fucking like you were saying about his punches, these kicks to the head wouldn't have fucking done any damage to any cunt, to be fair. Like they were just very weak looking kicks. It was a good spot, but Razor, the way he goes out, it's like it just looked a bit odd. If you were hitting a football that far, like like that, it wouldn't even have got to the goal. Like, you know what I mean? It was fucking pretty weak. But it was a cool spot, just Virgil made it look a bit shit, to be fair. So where are we now? Oh, yeah, then as Razor's outside, Virgil goes up to the ropes and Razor trips him. So Razor's out the ring, Virgil's in the ring on the mat, drags him over to the ring post, to ram his leg on the fucking ring post from the outside. Pulls Virgil to the outside. Then Razor gets back in. Virgil gets back in after him. Then Razor's back on the leg. Spinning toe hold now by Razor. He does that for quite a while. Keeps going round, round, round. Virgil kicks him off into the corner. Schoolboy by Virgil. 1-2. Fucking kick out. This is like the comeback now by Virgil. So he's kicked off from the spinning toe hold. Does the schoolboy, gets a 2 count. Virgil feeds to the corner. Razor runs in, takes a big boot by Virgil in the corner. Virgil climbs up to the second ropes, clothesline. Second rope clothesline, gets the 2 count. And then fucking whips Razor off the ropes. He ducks down to go for a backdrop, but Razor sets him up for the fucking Razor's edge. Pins him 1, 2, 3. So this was pretty, like, by far the best one of the four. Because the first one I enjoyed, but it was, like I say, just a one-sided thing working on the angle with DiBiase. But this was actually a pretty decent little match, I thought, which it was all right because fucking match 3 was fucking Dorothy. So
Right, my 3. Right, I think the last match that I saw with Martel was my favourite wrestling match out of the 3. But this one, if watching this from a fan's point of view, it's still all right. But watching it from a wrestler's point of view, knowing that Virgil is shit, I take my hat off to Virgil's opponent here. for structuring it in this fashion because there's not a lot Virgil could fuck up. Do you know what I mean? This was clearly put together. He's against the Honky Tonk Man from the World Wrestling. I think it's called World Wrestling fucking Coalition, or no, sorry, National Wrestling Coalition or National Wrestling Conference. Slamming TV was the main event of their very first TV show. It lasted quite a while, to be fair. This NWC. Yeah, it was clearly like Honky is going to know how to fucking get a match out of a dickhead and get the least out, get the most out of doing least, doesn't he? It's Honky, right? It's what he does. So in comes Honky on the way to the ring. They're saying that he's undefeated in NWC. The commentators putting the match over because let's be fair, for an independent show in 1995, May the 12th, 95, this is hell of a fucking main event, really, isn't it? Two people that are still relevant, been seen on TV recent. I'd book that shit. I'd book that shit now, even though it's got Virgil in. You know what I mean? Yeah. But so Virgil comes to the ring now. Virgil has also got a guitar. You don't need a guitar, Virgil. That's not your gimmick, mate. Anyway.
Got a bit confused.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden, fucking Virgil gets knocked out of the ring and Honky Tonk Man's out after him, right? Genius. He doesn't have to do any wrestling. He doesn't even have to lock up because he probably can't. So he's out of the ring. Honky Tonk Man's fucking throwing him into the post, all that fucking humding. Virgil gets in. Honky Tonk Man charges at him. Virgil gets out the way. So far, all Virgil's had to do is move, and now he's looking good. Honky Tonk Man back out the ring. There's a bit more battery. Honky cuts him off. He gets back up onto the apron. Honky comes off the apron with a double axe, which I wasn't expecting Honky Tonk Man to do anything quite so high. Honky Tonk Man throws Virgil in the ring. Now the heat's on. Big, long, fuck off chin lock. Like 3 parts of the match chin lock. Virgil can't go wrong in a chin lock. It's over. Let's stay here. It doesn't matter. Up he gets. Oh, the commentator said that these are 2 men that are trying to climb the ladder to wrestle the champion Sabu. Now, could you possibly imagine Sabu against the Honky Tonk Man or Sabu against Virgil?
No. I don't know which one, to be fair.
No. I mean, it's a clash of styles with Honky, and it'll be the blind leading the blind with fucking Virgil, wouldn't it? Anyway, Virgil fires up at this point. It's the ropes, but he's met with a shot to the belly. Honky Tonk Man throws him out again and attacks Virgil on the apron. They're in and they're out, and they're in and they're out. They're doing a lot on the floor. But I genuinely think that's to disguise Virgil's wrestling ability, because if he's on the floor, you're not doing a lot, are you? Virgil with a shoulder charge and the sunset flip, on the apron. That one, fucking sunset flip over the ropes. Honky Tonk Man cuts him off again. Back into the second chin lock. It was successful last time. Let's do it again. The arm goes up. The arm goes up. Third one. Here we go. Fucking elbows in the belly. But Honky Tonk Man cuts him off straight away with a shot to the back. Knee to the back. Virgil's in the corner. Honky Tonk Man gets booted. Virgil starts Muhammad Ali, fucking shuffling. Honky swings. Virgil ducks. There's an atomic drop. He's doing well. There's a clothesline. Honky doesn't like to bump, but he does go down in some fashion. There's a side Russian leg sweep. Honky's just getting up. The $1 Million Dream's on. Honky Tonk Man backs Virgil to the corner. Virgil lines him in the corner like 11 times. Virgil is up to the top rope. He goes for the crossbody. Honky moves out the way. He hits the floor. Kablonk. Honky Tonk Man gets the guitar. First of all, he nails the ref. What are you thinking about, Honky? Then he nails Virgil, and he gets disqualified. And then he shake, rattles, and rolls Virgil. But fair play to Honky. He dragged a good match out of Virgil by Virgil not doing anything. That's the way I saw it. And I fucking love Honky Tonk Man. Nothing it can do will ever be fucking tarnished, in my opinion. So it was all right, yeah.
Sounds right. So Next one, WCW Pro, 23rd November 97,
Right.
against Buddy Lee Parker.
Oh, you like him, don't you? He's one of your new
Well,
favourites, I think. I imagine
yeah,
he's going to be on your Wall of Fame soon.
yeah, not fucking judging by this fucking match, yeah. Fuck. Right, so I can't remember too much about it. I just remember one incident that I'll fucking when I get to it, I'll explain the situation. So fucking Virgil or Vincent as he's now called, fucking coming to the ring like with the NWO music and everything, and I just think he looks fucking totally out of place. Like NWO t-shirt.
He looks all arms and legs at this point and really fucking skinny.
Yeah. He looks fucking odd to me in this NWO shit. Like walking to the ring shouting fucking just too sweet. It just doesn't fucking suit him to me. Like I still never know why the fuck he was in it, to be fair, but
What, wrestling or fucking
part of the NWO, but yeah, now you mention it, fucking wrestling. But so there's a fucking they tie up straight away, get into the corner, cheap shot elbow by Virgil, fucking Buddy switches a whip, Virgil goes up and over, and then Virgil does the up and over out the corner, then nails Buddy a couple of times. Buddy fucking fights back, works Virgil to the opposite corner, battering him around the ring now. Fucking Buddy Lee does a massive flying forearm, Buddy Lee. I've even wrote oof next to it because it fucking looked like it beheaded Virgil, to be honest. Virgil powders on the apron. This is where it all goes a bit fucking squonky, shall we say. So fucking Virgil powders out.
Is it because Virgil starts to do something?
It fucking is. So Virgil powders. Now Virgil's on the apron, right? Now I'm thinking, okay, here we go on. I'm thinking Virgil, Buddy Lee's in the ring, Virgil's on the apron, so the ropes are in between them. So now basically Virgil hooked him up for the suplex to go to suplex him outside the ring. I'm thinking, nah, he's not going to do that. Buddy's going to block it, suplex Virgil in the ring, standard. Oh no. So what going was Virgil actually suplexes Buddy, but I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know what was meant to happen, but in mid-air, there becomes separation between them, and Buddy literally just fucking goes head first onto the apron outside the ring. Literally thought he'd broke his fucking neck. Like I was watching it thinking, right, okay, for one, I ain't gonna let any cunt suplex me outside the ring, and for two, especially if his name's fucking Virgil.
Yeah.
So, like, how he would even agree to do that, I have no fucking idea. But I don't know if I'm assuming that's what was meant to happen. He was just meant to suplex him, or they both had the fucking wrong idea. I don't know what was meant to happen. But in midair, Virgil just seemed to release him and like literally came right down on his head on the apron. You ever watch it? It made me wince, like fucking hell. And then they're back in the ring and Buddy looked fucked up. Like he looked like he wasn't all there. Like, Buddy goes over and lands right on his fucking noggin, right on the apron. I've put WTF exclamation mark right next to it because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But then they're back in the ring and Virgil fucking hits a neck breaker. I'm thinking fucking hell, like on the fucking neck. So like a part of me thought, was he meant to do that like a minute ago? But surely that's just too dangerous to even try. It must have been an accident. But goes back in, it's the neck breaker. Fucking Buddy trying to fight back a little bit, then gets cut off straight away. Fucking Virgil's picking him up. And then as he's picking him up, Buddy Lee hits the jawbreaker. Buddy whips him, gives him a hip oik, gives him a drop kick. I've put both The hip toss looked a bit dodgy. The drop kick looked like it was a bollock kick. Virgil's down. He gets a 2 count on Virgil, hits him with a slam, and then hits a knee drop, just a standing knee drop on Virgil, gets a 2 count. And then after the knee drop on the floor, Buddy Lee goes to the top, misses. Now he misses the knee drop from the top rope, and then fucking Virgil applies the $1 Million Dream, and the arm drops 3 times, and that's the finish. It was a bit of a shit match, to be fair. Like, even without the fucking massive botch, it was just, when you get 2 wrestlers and you put them in the ring together, and we were talking about this the other day. Do you ever like book any matches that do you ever like think, yeah, they probably won't mesh, or I probably shouldn't put them in together, kind of thing? I think this was a perfect example of that. You wouldn't have thought that these two, they're like, you know what I mean? You just wouldn't have thought to put them together. You had the fucking WCW roster. They're just not 2 guys. You think, okay, yeah, they'll be all right. Like, it was weird to me, but it looked awkward, and that spot in particular looked fucking. I don't know how he never broke his neck. I literally don't know, because he was fucking. Think about Virgil's 6 foot 5'10" maybe, or whatever, dropping right from his head, like literally straight down on the apron. Like, there's no way.
And there seemed to be a lot in it, and we've already established Virgil can't do a lot. So that there was a lot in it from both of them, wasn't there? Yeah, so it must have been quite a long one, to be fair, to have that much in it, or it was all fucking bish bash bosh. Right, my last one, which it is my fucking thing. A lot of the people that we do, a lot of them have ended up in WCW towards the end of WCW, which was the worst.
Everyone did.
Yeah, which is the worst period of WCW ever, right? So, I mean, even with somebody as shit as Virgil, the shittest is always going to be at the end, because he's in WCW at this period, right? I've got one from 99. That 99, 2000, 2001 was the shits, right? So I've made a vow that we're doing the Steiners on Friday, right? Now, I'm sure they were there around this period, but I ain't fucking going that far. I'm going to keep it all in the fucking good times, because I don't want to end up on a downer. Because we could do the very best wrestler in the fucking world, but if he was in WCW, like we did Jeff Jarrett, really quite like Jeff Jarrett, and I think I watched like at least 2 or 3 good ones, and then I have to watch one shit thing with 74 run-ins and a fucking dick on a pole fucking gimmick at the end, because I've got no choice.
Yeah. Well, the Steiners were there at that period, but they weren't like together, were they?
Yeah.
Yeah, because fucking Rick Steiner was doing like his own thing. I think around about that time he had a fucking angle with Tank Abbott, like the UFC guy, and Steiner was doing obviously
the Steiner and Bagwell thing. When Bagwell broke his neck.
Oh yeah, that would have been, I think, 98, maybe.
Oh, okay. So yeah, a little behind. But yeah, I'm going to keep it in the good times at least for the next few, just because we need to claw something back out of fucking Virgil. But this one's from Saturday night, WCW, 13th of February 99. Vincent, I've chosen Vincent against Johnny Swinger, because I really like Johnny Swinger. He was from, he'd done WWF little bits. He'd had 2 runs in WCW. A run in ECW just after this, I think, where he tagged with Simon Diamond, and I really like them. He didn't do a great deal, success-wise, if you call the win success, in WCW. But he was, he's a reliable wrestler, so I thought, oh, this will be all right, this. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've written 10 lines. So Swinger gets his own entrance, right? Which surprised me because of the position on the show that he was in, but he looks fucking great. The NWO music plays, out comes Skinny Vincent. And the fucking commentators, I forget who they were, I didn't write it down. I think I was just like mesmerized. The commentators say that, is this the new leader of the NWO? And I'm thinking, please fucking no. I didn't watch it here, but
actually, now you mention that, What year is that?
99.
Yeah, I remember watching it round about that time, and there was like NWO was fucking no more. So there was this fucking like other version of NWO, and it was fucking Virgil, fucking Scott Norton, Stevie Ray, and I'm sure there was one other person, and there was some beef about who's the leader of the NWO, and
Right.
that's probably what they're fucking on about there. But yeah, it was a load of wank.
There was a bit of a discussion from the commentary team during Vincent's entrance, which seemed to last fucking ages, about the upcoming battles on who's who. Like Hogan saying, as in Hulk Hogan, is saying that Vincent should be the leader. However, there's arguments between Stevie Ray, Brian Adams, and Horace. They
All
were all
right, okay.
attention to who the leader is. Um, I mean, fucking hell, the leader of anything. I mean, fuck me, he couldn't lead the fucking dog around the block, could he? Vincent then gets the microphone. That's Vincent. I'm going to say it slowly. Vincent gets the microphone. Prepare yourself. I've written this promo word for word here. Everybody pay attention. I'm not Vincent no more. I'm just Vince. And that is it. That is it. That is the whole
Fucking money,
thing.
that is, isn't it?
Yeah, right there. That's going to sell t-shirts right there. Right, then Vincent offers the hand, or should we call him Vince now? Because he's not Vincent no more. So Vince offers the hand to Johnny Swinger and then kicks Johnny Swinger. Oh, Johnny lad, you fell for it. Now he's fucking laying these shots in the back of fucking Swinger. They're proper, these ones. Someone's clearly told him after the Hercules match, don't do none of that namby-pamby fucking punches and forearms that you were doing. Lay them in a little. And now, totally the opposite. He's fucking clubbing these fucking blows into Swinger. Swinger's on his knees, but he gets up and does a jawbreaker to young Vincent. Throws him off the ropes, but he ducks his head and gets the fucking kick. So, no, he doesn't get the kick. He ducks his head, does Swinger. Vince face locks him, DDTs him whilst he's down there, grabs the arm for a submission, and that is all. That is all. That is all. The entrance took longer than the match did. I can't blame Johnny Swinger. Everything he did was banging. It looked amazing. To be fair, what Vincent did wasn't bad. The promo was shit, but he looked a lot slimmer than he did in the WWF. I don't know whether that's the fucking cameras or what he was wearing or what. And it looked like he had the longest arms any human has ever had. No, just no.
All right. My fucking last one. Here we go. This one was okay. So my first two were alright. My first one was decent. Well, the first one was alright. Second one was I really enjoyed. Third one was fucking dot to the cotton. Fourth one. Here we go. I thought this was okay. Nothing special, but it was alright. It was passable. So this is from WCW Worldwide from 7th of the 5th, 98, or 5th of the 7th, 98, but it's from 98. And it's against Marty Jannetty.
Oh, go on.
Yeah. I mean, Marty comes out in like his rocker stuff because he had that for the whole duration of his career. And just comes out just as a normal fucking 1980s like baby face. But I always liked Marty, even at this period of time when he wasn't doing anything, but he was still Marty Jannetty. So
And
so
let's
the
be
tie-up.
honest, much as we said about booking Virgil against Honky, booking Virgil against Marty today is still a fucking main event.
Oh, I'd do it. I'd
Yeah.
break the fucking bank. I'd fucking break the bank to do that one. But yeah. So they tie up. Fucking Marty switches the hammerlock. Fucking Virgil with a back elbow to Eard. Fucking, I like this spot actually. I've seen it done, not often, but a few times. So Virgil hits him with an elbow to back at ear. Fucking Virgil hits the ropes. Marty goes for the hip toss, but Virgil blocks it. Virgil goes for the hip toss. Marty blocks it. So there's a few blocks of the hip toss, and then as they get to the ropes, Marty fucking hip tosses him over the top rope. You know what I mean? So they just keep reversing each other till they get to the rope. Nice little spot that. I like that. Look, they're right. Then a baseball slide by Marty. Gets back in. Virgil's on the apron, shoulder to the gut, and then he does like the hang time on the top rope, like choke, on Marty, cuts him off. Heat by Virgil. Fucking elbow drop. Oh, the elbow from the second rope, like the Bret Hart won the front ways. He does that from the second. Swinging neck breaker times 2, not just one, but 2 swinging neck breakers by Vince. Choking him on ropes. Fucking, he's all over Marty now, beating the fuck out of him. Virgil, he's got Marty in the corner, and he runs at him. And you know that thing that X-Pac used to do, where he'd run with his fucking legs in the air and then like hit the buckle, like
sort of spin himself over.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Virgil does that, but just not as good. Yeah, so he misses him in the corner. Looking atomic drop by Marty, then a massive clothesline by Marty, gets the 2 count. Marty comes off the second rope, but a boot to the face as Virgil's on the mat. Boot to the face onto Marty. Hits the $1 Million Dream. I thought that was going to be it there. He's got the $1 Million Dream on Marty, but Marty like fucking just backs into the corner, so he breaks it. Virgil back on him, and then Virgil whips Marty off the ropes. I think he ducks his head down. Then Marty just catches his arm and fucking spins it round and then hits the rocker dropper thingy that he used to do.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the finish. Marty over.
Marty over?
Yeah.
Do you know that's the most shocking thing out of all the fucking 8 matches? Marty being over in WCW in 98 is possibly shocked me the most.
I know, because like when he put the $1 Million Dream on, or the fucking whatever it was, I thought that was going to be the finish. Just like, standard finish match. But there was Marty fucking over like Rover. How it's done. Good old Marty.
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah.
So that was the legend that is Virgil. Tis what it is.
It wasn't as shit as I thought it was going to be.
No. I think it was shitter because I knew it should be shit, so I was looking even deeper to find shit. Do you know what I mean? Like fucking. But it wasn't fucking great by any stretch, but
yeah,
it is.
I did enjoy the Razor match. The Razor match was all right, to be fair. But it wasn't. I'm not going to look for the best of Virgil on eBay anytime soon. But
no. But if one should crop up again, at least you could grit your teeth for 6 minutes long enough to get through it. It's not going to fucking put you in a coma.
Right.
Wednesday, Georgia Championship Wrestling. Quite looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'll be good that.
Friday, the Steiners. Quite looking forward to them. Monday's your singles pick. What you got?
Wow, you're gonna love this one. You fucking ready for this one?
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Chris Candido.
Do you know what? I was talking. Well, I messaged David Harold when he put a picture of his book on Facebook, and I said I'd like him to be the subject of our podcast one day because I really do like.
I seen that comment, but like I decided when I told you I already had my singles pick ages ago, so it was already going to be Chris Candido before I seen that comment. So I was gonna change it, but then I thought, you know what, fuck it, I'll do it anyway. So I decided, and you mentioned that, and I thought, fucking, I might as well do it now then. So
because I like, we were on about when X-Pac, when you picked him during the tape trader days.
Yeah,
he was one of the first to be seen. Candido was the same kind of thing. There's a match of him and Johnny from one of Johnny Rod's shows that was doing sort of tape trader circuit. You've got to see this kid. You know what I mean? Yeah, he was one of the same kind of, like when Chris Daniels came in, maybe a couple of years later, that was Chris Daniels. But, he was another one that was, before the internet, but what I would call an internet wrestler now. But, then he was one of them. Yeah, banging. I do like me some Chris Candido.
It'd be good that he's got quite a lot of material as well, isn't there, to watch? So
And somebody of a modern style, like people, me saying I like him, people might say, you're a bit of a fucking hypocrite because people do that shit now. But it was so unique then that it was you could like it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
now every fucker's doing it. So why would you like it? You know what I mean? Like, if you like a chip shop in a row of other shops, but if you like chips, then there's all chip shops. You get bored by the time you get to the end of the. You know what I mean? If you go in shopping and they all sell the same fucking thing, it's not a day shopping. But you go there for a specific thing. It's fucking. He was so unique for the time period. Some devastating things that he did. But yeah, no, I do like him, and I like Skip and Sonny too.
yeah, yeah. That was a good little thing they had going on. It's a shame because,
Primarily Sonny. Primarily Sonny.
right, yeah. He was very good though. He was fucking brilliant, to be fair. So he really
Bosh.
was.
Yeah, good one. So Georgia on Wednesday. See you then.